Flash and the gang. The Mandalorian is great in the new series, and let's check out what's new in the world of pop culture with your hosts John, Tim, and Quentin, and a podcast we call Rewind
and Reload.
It's Wednesday, my dudes. Just kidding, it's Friday. If you're listening, it's Wednesday for us, but thanks to Podcast Magic, we're talking to you from the past. This is Rewind and Reload. I am John, and joining me today, as always, is my two sexy co-hosts.
It's Q.
And Tim.
Sounds so cute.
Aw.
Alright. So, it's been another week. Tim, what were you up to this week?
To be honest, not a lot. I don't remember. I didn't go on a bender or anything. I just can't think of anything I did off the top of my head other than watch movies.
I feel like that's a lie, because I've seen you with a bottle of UV before.
That was your bachelor party and a one-time thing.
Sure.
Listen, I only threw up twice that night. So.
And lost the stakes to your tent, but we won't talk about that.
I found them.
Q, how about you? What'd you do this week?
I played a little bit of Rocket League. It has a pretty neat event going on right now. You guys like that Stranger Things show?
Is that the one with?
I watched a few episodes, maybe.
I was trying to think of another Netflix. Is that the one with the drug kingpins in Colombia?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm pretty into that show.
Yep. But anyways, they got a Stranger Things event going on right now. You can get Stranger Things themed items in game, so that's kind of neat. You can get a skin for the Octane that is Hopper's Hawaiian shirt.
Is that the truck that I've seen screenshots of?
No, the Octane's just like the default car you get.
Oh, okay. Because I've seen screenshots of vehicles that are supposed to be Stranger Things themed, but they just look like trucks.
Yeah, no.
Are these quote unquote army trucks?
I don't know what those are. Because I've seen it's a screenshot from in the game, but yeah, I don't get how they're Stranger Things themed.
Yeah,
but whatever.
I don't understand this. I mean, I don't play this game. I think I have fun with it when I do play it, but I don't play it nearly as much as you. And I don't understand the theming, quote unquote, of certain events, because it's just like, well, this is kind of something kind of vaguely like the thing you're trying to be referencing.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of the theme things just seem like these people gave us money, so we're gonna do this. I
feel like that's most crossover promotions, but
it's like Marvel with Fortnite,
or Batman with Fortnite.
Yeah, that too.
Or black holes in Fortnite.
Yeah, doesn't Rocket League have a Batmobile too?
Rocket League has 3 Batmobiles.
Ooh.
They have the 93 Batmobile, they have the Dark Knight Tumbler, and then they have what was
the Batfleck?
No, I want to say it was the Tim Burton Batmobile. No.
The super long one, right? Is that the?
Yeah,
am I imagining things?
I forget.
I think that's the Tim Burton one. If it's the really long one.
Yeah, I think it is, but maybe I'm saying one of the ones you already said. I don't know.
I don't know, but yeah, no. Rocket League has a lot of Batman stuff in it.
Huh, cool. I still need to download it really bad.
You gotta get on the Rocket League wave. It's only been out forever.
Yeah, I know.
It's owned by the same people that own Fortnite, so it's either gonna die or prosper.
Or they're gonna reboot it and have Rocket League Chapter 2.
We'll see. How was your week though, John?
It was pretty good. I went to Chicago to celebrate me and Carly's first anniversary. We went to the Field Museum and we saw all the exhibits, and they have some pretty dope exhibits.
I saw you guys saw some pretty cool looking bird skeletons.
Yeah, those are awesome. Yeah, we went through those. Went through some of the other exhibits and stuff. Didn't see Sue though. I don't know where they put her, but saw some. Yeah, we saw some pretty good exhibits. They had like the Audubon birds drawings. I don't know if you've ever seen those. They're like really intricate and like really beautiful.
It's just birds going down the Autobahn really, really fast.
Yes, that's exactly what it is, actually.
Fucking Roadrunner from Looney Tunes.
No, that's exactly what it is.
I'd be like bird, like there's like tons of like weird like car things on the internet, like sentient planes and shit, and they're usually sexualized, but like I don't want to imagine that. I want to imagine like bird cars.
Sure. But anyways, after that we went to Park Grill in Millennium Park. And that was awesome. But it was kind of hectic because the Chicago Marathon was going on, so it was a little tough to get around.
You should have just tripped someone.
I wish. But
you gotta embrace that city life and just push people on the street.
Yeah, be like, I don't care about no...
Just walking blatantly in front of taxis.
Was
like
it? You said marathon?
Yeah.
Just push them all down and be like, this is my marathon now.
No, I wouldn't exit. I'm still from Indiana, so I gotta be nice. Can't be a FIP. Just doesn't work for me.
FIP is for both, right? So...
I mean, I guess that's true. I never really thought of that.
Yeah, they call us FIPs and we call them FIPs.
I thought if you lived in Indiana, you just constantly ate corn and said really bad slurs.
Well, that too, but...
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Anyways, don't want everyone to think that that's what we do.
Well, around here...
don't. A lot of people here do, though.
We like to grind up our corn and use it as dip.
I don't even know what to do with that. Like,
I've heard of corn dip.
Anyways, yeah. Anyways, you guys want to jump into our topic for the day, or Tim? Do you want to talk about how you dip all the time?
I do nothing but dip.
Okay. All right.
Anything you can think of that can be ground to a fine dip-like consistency, I will dip.
Okay. So anyways, I'm done listening to Tim do that shit. Today...
I could talk about corn more.
I'm really trying to do my lead-in line here, Tim, and you're just fucking me up.
This week, we're talking about a fellow patriot.
So today, I don't know if anybody knows this line, but it's, no, I'm your father. Actually, no, I made a mistake. That's a different Mark Hamill movie. Today we're actually going to be talking about the Joker. The movie was just released, and we kind of thought it'd be cool to talk about the comic maniac and the silly, slightly crazy cinema green-haired clown.
Just a little bit of a goofball. Just a little bit of a jokester.
Just a little... I mean, Joker is in the word a jokester. I mean, I don't know.
He's like the trickster. Oh, wait, that's a different DC villain.
Which is also played by Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Fun fact. So...
Yeah, that's...
With the movie coming out, there has been a lot of controversy surrounding it for some reason. It's saying a lot of critics are saying that it's going to inspire crime, gun violence, anarchy, mass killings. They were saying that it is blaming all this violence and stuff on mental disorders. instead of actually taking accountability. So I don't. Tim, you actually saw the movie so far. I don't know how you feel about these.
I think it's all kind of baseless and, just to be frank, quite bullshit. Because the big things that I was hearing before I saw the movie was like, oh, it's going to inspire incels to be violent and things like that. And I'm just like, I went in to see the movie and I was like, who's viewing this and thinking, oh, this guy's an incel? No, this guy's a mentally ill person who isn't being cared for by society.
I did ask someone I know who saw the movie. I was like, alright, so like, what the fuck is up with all this incel shit? Why the fuck is the Joker an incel? And he actually he gave me a pretty good explanation. He's like, he's a social outcast who's rejected by society and turns violent, which like isn't it is, but it isn't an incel.
Well, he doesn't. He does the if to be fair, the Joker in this movie doesn't go, I can't get laid, I'm going to do what I do. So, I think he differs there, but I get where the comparison that you're making is.
I do think it is still quite the stretch.
Yeah, the only thing that I think this movie is, and I've talked to both of you about this. I think the only messages in this movie are nothing to do with like It's not trying to glorify or even make light of violence. It's very much a story about how classism and not taking care of the mentally ill in this country, and I don't want to say this country, but in Gotham, I suppose, if you want to put it that way, is detrimental to the well-being of a lot of people in the city. Like one of the main themes in the movie is social funding has been cut, and as a result of that, things happen.
Well, I think I agree completely with your statement, Tim. I think people are taking the wrong message away from this movie. I think it's supposed to be more enlightenment about how we should be taking better care of mental disorder and helping people.
We should be taking better care of people with mental illness, and we shouldn't have the huge class divide that we do in the country.
And I think
because there's a line in the movie, and I don't think it's a huge spoiler because it's really early on, where Thomas Wayne, who I would argue may be the antagonist of this movie, I don't know, interpret that yourself, says something like, oh, these people who are lower than the people who've worked themselves up in the city will never be anything but clowns. And I'm just like, excuse me? What?
Yeah, that's not a great
thing.
And
then there's a showing of Zorro at the end of the movie, so that's all I'm going to say.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Who's the clown now?
I guess I kind of look at it as more like, hey, if we take care of people and actually don't sweep conditions like this under the rug, maybe we can actually help somebody.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like how you said earlier, how an antagonist in this movie is higher class, richer, I feel like their go-to thing, even in our society, is to sweep conditions like that under the rug or use it as an excuse.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah. The next thing, controversial, which I guess I could consider this a little bit in bad taste, is that they used Rock and Roll Part 2 by Gary Glitter, which isn't controversial until you find out that he is currently serving his sentence as a pedophile.
I don't know who this... I'm going to be honest, maybe I would recognize the song if I heard it, but I didn't know anything about this.
Wow, what a surprise. A pedophile is making money in Hollywood.
Unheard of.
Yeah.
Not like Roman Polanski is still like called a great fucking filmmaker.
Fucking what's his name?
Yeah,
Woody
that's
Allen.
Yeah, I mean,
People who have just blatantly been revealed to have been doing bad things, and people are still like, they make good movies though.
Yeah, I guess I don't think they should have used a song by him. I guess there probably is better choices out there. I'm not surprised that they're keeping it in, or that it's in there, but I don't know.
yeah, I feel like that was in not the best of taste.
Yes, that's the best way to put it.
I don't know the exact scene or whatever that it's played in, but I feel like there probably they could have just played the fucking Bring in the Clowns for the how many times do they play that throughout the movie, Tim?
They play it technically in the movie once.
Oh.
And it's not even really the full song played. Before the movie came out, there was a joke article going around that it played no less than 3 times throughout the movie.
That's what I heard too, okay.
But it plays once during a pretty important scene. It not even played, like characters sing it during a pretty important scene in the movie. And then it plays over the credits. So...
Gotcha. Yeah, they could have just played that song again.
I mean, if they only actually played it once, everyone was already looking out for it to be played 2 more times.
Exactly. We're already expecting it.
Oh, it was in the staircase scene.
Yes, I wanted to say it was in the staircase scene, but like I said, I
had to look up where the
song
was because I didn't remember what song it was. And I gave it a quick listen, really quietly on YouTube while you guys were talking. And I was like, I don't know what scene this was in. And then I had to actually Google the Joker combined with Rock and Roll Part 2.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, I would agree that it's in poor taste to use a song that's in a convicted pedophile that was written by a convicted pedophile, but
yeah.
I mean, we are talking about the director is the guy who directed The Hangover, though. So that's.
Yeah, they're standing by it. Their decision to use the song, which, I mean, the movie's already out, so
there's nothing we can do to change it.
Yeah, I mean, if it comes out on DVD and the song's different, I feel like that's just going to cause more of a stir.
I don't know if this is the case, but I know there's one scene in particular where the soundtrack directly influences what happens in the movie. So I don't know if Joaquin Phoenix was dancing to the rhythm of that song, on set, and then they overlaid it this is in his head, the music is playing in his head.
Well, I feel like the director really hasn't come out a whole lot with different things with the movie, and he said that he's going to give a full explanation one day about his whole idea, but
there's a scene that happens where the Joker does this dance, and the director and I think Joaquin Phoenix have had an interview about it where he said, we got this song sent to us the day of this shoot, and it was supposed to be much different in the script.
Gotcha.
And then we heard the music, and we were like, oh no, this is how this is going to change. This is the scene. And because they described the character of his name's Arthur in the movie.
Yeah, Arthur Fleck, right?
Yeah, they describe Arthur as a person who has music inside of him, even though he's mentally unwell, very clearly. But he has this music inside of him, and then I'd like to think that the scene in the script, or later on in the script in the revised version, was, this is what's playing in his head while he's doing these things.
Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, I feel like they probably had meaning behind it. They just don't care to say anything at the moment. They're probably just letting it settle out.
It's given how popular this movie is, I will be 100% surprised if there's not a director's commentary version at some point.
Yeah.
Because it's so interesting. Everything about this movie, I talked about it last week, everything about this movie I thought was, obviously influenced by one of my favorite directors, but it's all so good. Because
I can't wait to see it, really. I tried to see it this week, but I just didn't get a chance. I'm hoping to see it this weekend. Hopefully by the time this airs, I will have seen it, or I will be at the movies.
I don't know if I want to talk about it this week or until you guys see it, and maybe we can talk about it on here, but there was a huge revision that didn't, or like a huge line that was in the script that wasn't in the final film that kind of alludes to Batman in the very end of the movie. So it's interesting because the end of the movie is kind of open-ended, and that's all I'll say.
Yeah, I saw some stuff on how they ended the movie.
Yeah,
to where it kind of like ruined a little bit of it for me, but it is what it is. But
yeah,
I didn't hear about that, so
the very end of the movie is kind of open-ended, and you're left to interpretation. Mm-hmm. And apparently, there was a script revision, and it makes everything much clearer. So, I mean, we can talk about that once you guys see the movie, but
yeah, maybe hopefully we'll see it here pretty soon, and we can talk about it next week.
Yeah, maybe I'll find a working link for Quentin this week. And
yeah,
I did find one, Quinn. I want you to know, but it was really poor quality, and I didn't think you would want to watch it that way. It was like a camcorder quality.
I respect that.
It was camcorder quality with like Taiwanese ads playing over it, so I was like, I don't. Quentin doesn't want to see this.
No, thank you.
Well, I guess let's move on away from the plot of the movie and direct controversy with the movie. And did you guys hear about Jared Leto? His reaction to this? He made some comments that he felt left out in the dark, and especially when this movie got the green light to go, and that he told On Demand Entertainment that he was confused on the future of the whole character because they really didn't tell him anything. And at that time, there was actually plans to do a spin-off Joker movie with Harley Quinn rather than a Harley Quinn movie. And now we're getting, Birds of Prey, which is solely a Harley Quinn movie, with other female characters, obviously, but there has been no mention of Jared Leto in this movie.
I mean, that's because his Joker was, no pun intended, haha funny, a joke.
I would completely agree with you. He was a very poor Joker. There's only one other Joker that I disliked more than his Joker.
Is it
and I will talk about that later. No.
Because I don't like that Joker.
We'll talk about it later.
He's a cult leader, too.
Is he, actually? For real?
Yeah.
No, there's actual stories.
You could have spent, I think it was a couple grand, and you got to go to this island with him.
Oh, you got to go to Bohemian Grove, too? Electric Boogaloo?
30 seconds to Bohemian Grove.
I mean, I honestly wouldn't have minded seeing Jared Leto's Joker get the same treatment that Jared Leto got in American Psycho. Just get an axe in the face.
It took me a second to remember his character in American Psycho.
Because he's off screen within 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah. It's over. So
and then the whole rest of the movie is, where is this character? I don't know.
My only question for Mr. Leto, if he might be listening, who knows? Have you read the reviews of your movie? That is the answer to
be fair to him, apparently.
Right,
to be fair, in some regards to him, I still don't like the movie or the character, but apparently the studio reshot a lot of the movie.
Yeah,
that left out a lot of the good parts of his character. So
yep. They actually came away from that movie. Him and Margot Robbie both agreed that there was enough footage there to have a Joker Harley Quinn movie because Joker was supposed to be much more intricate in the story. and they cut it because the movie was so dark, and because Batman v Superman did so poorly being a very dark movie, they reshot it to be more like a Marvel movie and cut so much out of it, which actually...
It kind of was just the Avengers with bad guys, so I can see that.
Yeah, and he actually has made comments that DC did mislead him, or Warner Bros. Misled him on his actual part that he was going to be playing, because originally he was going to be like the antagonist in the movie too.
But I mean, he still had a really atrocious Joker laugh and damage tattooed across his forehead, so...
I didn't like the tattoos. Like, I'm into tattoos, just not on the Joker. Like
his hand tattoo.
I know I talked about this like on the Backdash a little bit, but I feel like Jared Leto just like went on Instagram and he saw a bunch of like Instagram rappers, and he's like, "Oh, okay, that's what the Joker would be like nowadays."
So can we call him like Little Joker X, or?
I was just gonna call him Little Joke.
Little Joke, yeah. You think Jokey 6ix9ine?
I think that's too soon, Tim. I think that's too soon.
It's a good one, though. I like that.
No, it is.
The movie is about Joker turning state's witness to get out of prison.
Yeah. He's gonna tattle on Harley next.
Right? I don't know. I don't understand, like, I don't understand this Joker, or the Jared Leto Joker. I'm sorry.
No, and you know what the worst thing is? Is that the studio did confirm to Leto and the public that this Joker movie is not canon to the storyline. So Leto is still technically slated to be the Joker in future DC canon movies.
I'm not fine with that, because I don't like him as the Joker, but I'm fine with this movie, with the 2019 movie being standalone, just because of the way it's structured.
Yes.
And the thing I'll talk to you guys about next week, hopefully, or maybe the week after, I am 100% fine with this being a standalone movie.
I think it has to be the way that they did it.
Like, the thing that I'll talk about, it could be like, oh, there's the possibility, but nah.
No, I don't think it would work. The other thing is in the future. Yeah, in the future when they do the Batman movie too. Honestly, I'm thinking that that's going to end up going the same route too. I think DC does better at not canon movies. I don't think they can build a universe. I don't think people have.
I think that's everyone's biggest thing since the Avengers happened, was we need to build a cinematic universe.
Yeah, and it's been done now. So
the dark universe, cinematic universe, the Dooku.
Yeah.
No, you don't. Sometimes you can just have one good fucking movie.
Yeah, exactly.
No, exactly. I completely agree. I mean, I think if they had a bunch of standalone movies without building this universe, like, I don't see an issue.
Look at all of the old Batman movies.
Oh, yeah.
They were all good. They were all standalone. Like, you didn't have to watch one of them to know what was, like, up with another one.
Yeah, I mean, most of my movies that I would call my favorite movies are, like, one and done. Like, there's not a sequel. There's not anything after it.
That was a good time in cinema, you know, when movies ended.
When there wasn't the pre-post credits scene era of cinema.
Yeah, dude, fuck.
Yeah, I don't really like that everyone's kind of following the lead of Marvel here and trying to do the whole, hey,
when two of your movies make $1 billion, it's kind of hard not to.
I think it works for Marvel, don't get me wrong, and I like that Marvel does it. I just don't think everyone should follow suit. I think they should do their own thing, because if they're just going to do the same fucking thing, it's not going to work.
That's Hollywood, baby.
Yeah, that's very true.
You see a company make $1 billion, we got to do that now. We got to make $1 billion on one movie.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I guess that kind of cleared that up. I guess we talked about one of the adaptations of Joker and how I think the consensus on this podcast is that we don't like Jared Leto's version. Not to say I don't like Jared Leto, but I don't like his Joker, that's for sure. But I'm just going to run through the adaptations through the years, both on TV and in film, and also on video games. But the first one was Cesar Romero. Oh my god, I can't talk. TV, it was 1966 to 1968. He also did a film in 1966. Next was Jack Nicholson, obviously. 1989. Didn't hate it. Didn't love it, personally.
Real quick, I just want to give one fun fact about Cesar Romero.
Yes.
After he was cast as the Joker, he still refused to shave his mustache. So they just caked the fuck on some paint over his mustache.
I mean, it was 1966, so you couldn't do what they did to Henry Cavill and just give him a weird, fuzzy, fake lip.
The technology was not invented yet.
But they did a really good job, but I mean, he did have like a huge mustache anyways.
I just thought that was funny.
No,
and if you go back and watch it, like, you can definitely tell, and then you can never not see it now.
I'm going to have to go back and watch that now.
Like, God damn it, there's a stupid little mustache.
Oh my god, I'm looking at the pictures. Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah. So, after Jack Nicholson...
Wait, real quick, did you say you...
I'm sorry.
All you said was you didn't hate him? Like the Jack Nicholson one?
I didn't hate him.
I didn't like that.
I didn't love him either.
I didn't like that he was the Joe Chill
buddy.
analog that turned into the Joker.
I'll keep my comments to myself until the end, and we'll talk about our favorites and
how do you
our
not like
least
that
favorites.
that 3 foot long revolver barrel?
That was such a good gag. Fuck, that's so good. Bang.
I mean, he was probably, like, at the time, probably the closest to the comic books. So, like, that's why I don't really hate him. But I just didn't love that version of the Joker really ever anyways. He was too gaggy for me. I'm more of the sick and twisted side of the Joker rather than the gaggy side.
Hashtag bring back Emo John.
We're going to start that on here now, too. Jesus Christ. Next is Mark Hamill. He did the animated series, Batman Mask of the Phantasm. The new Batman Adventures, Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker, and Batman the Killing Joke.
That's unfortunate to hear.
Also did Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City, and Batman Arkham Knight. All of this was spanning from 1992 to 2016. Next would be Heath Ledger, which he kind of fits in there during Mark Hamill's reign, which Mark Hamill was never on the cinematic side. He was always on TV or in animated movies. But The Dark Knight, 2008. I don't even know how to pronounce this kid's name, but Cameron Monaghan?
Cameron
Monaghan?
Monaghan.
I think that's the right one. On Gotham, which was from 15 to 2019. Jared Leto, 2016. Zach Galifianakis in 2017. Fun little fact. And I believe there was one other one that did the Arkham Origins Batman game, but I don't remember his name. But if he's out there, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name. But I want to hear Q. I want you to start because you got pretty defensive. What was your favorite adaptation and your least favorite?
My favorite?
Why?
Just to cut in real quick, Troy Baker played the Joker in Arkham Origins.
Thank you. I knew it was a very average name.
I mean, he's a pretty big name in the voice acting industry, but yeah.
No, I knew that. I just knew that he has a very average name.
Hi, my name is John Smith. I am a voice actor, and I do Businessman number 2 in the game Businessman Adventure.
Is this your audition tape?
This is my, you can get a headshot of me if you... I am John Smith.
Okay.
Not to be confused with that other John Smith.
Anyways, Quentin, can you please intervene here? Keep us on task, please.
So, my favorite Joker. God, there's a lot of okay. Are we talking just movie Jokers?
No, just whatever you think your favorite Joker would be.
I know who mine is, but it's a joke.
Okay, well, I'll have to go with, Okay, so I'm gonna start just purely based off of the art style alone. The David Mckean Joker from the Arkham Asylum comics that I was telling you guys about before we were recording.
Okay.
That
art Joker, style is great.
That Joker is crazy. Like, it's a very, I don't know, I want to call it watercolory type style. The entire comic, it's just like a one-shot comic, and it's, who was it written by? I'm sorry, I can't remember right now. Grant Morrison. So anything Grant Morrison's great. I don't know if you guys...
Grant Morrison definitely writes some great comic books.
I definitely recommend that one if you want to go for like one of the coolest looking Jokers. But then, like, if we're talking just straight, my favorite just Joker based off of like the essence of the Joker, I'm gonna say Jack Nicholson, but Heath Ledger is a close second. Jack Nicholson is just like, I feel like the true embodiment of just chaotic evil, and then that's what the Joker is, you know.
That's fair.
Like I said, with the whole gag with the bang gun, his line, "Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?" Like, everything about that performance was what the Joker was to me growing up, from the comics that I read. It even reminded me of Mark Hamill's Joker from cartoons and stuff, like
from the animated series.
Yeah, like I feel like it just kind of had aspects of everything. And then obviously though, there are a lot more than just like the haha funny gaggy Jokers. Like there are the super dark ones, but for me, the Joker is this chaotic evil trickster jokester, you know.
Oh yeah, he's just he's the essence that is opposite to Batman. He is the opposite of a just
he is
right system.
Like the antithesis of Batman, even down to like their color schemes.
I mean, he's the yang to Batman's yin.
Well, he thought he killed Batman in one of I don't know exactly which comic run this was, but he thought he killed Batman, and he actually gave up being the Joker. He like went and got a job, went and led like a normal life, like a normal person, and then as soon as Batman came back, he just completely lost it and became the Joker all over again almost instantly.
Yeah, like that's like you can't have one without the other.
Oh yeah.
That's why that's why I like the one out of 8,000 million fucking backstories we have of Joker, that the Joker was the person who killed Batman's parents in the alley. That's a good Joker backstory, but
that is a good Joker backstory.
But I just like that one for the whole, like, you can't have Joker without Batman. And you can't have Batman without Joker story aspect.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. But, so Tim, what are your favorites and least favorites?
This is a tough question, I think.
I think it is, and I think that's why we need to talk about it.
I can give like a highlight of some of my favorite iterations. Obviously, I really liked Heath Ledger's Joker. I think he did a fantastic job of method acting.
Yeah. I didn't even. Oh, he like literally locked himself in a hotel room for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, that method acting was
he had like a weird
crazy
journal of him slowly going insane from the like solitude and trying to get into character, and it's wild to like read about. And I don't know if it contributed to his accidental death or not, but it's wild, man.
I think that's the danger of being a method actor too, is getting roles like that.
So Joaquin Phoenix did it for the 2019 Joker movie too, and he said like he was dangerously underweight for a while because of it.
Oh, it's obvious, and I feel like he's got to be in therapy right now too. I mean, to get into a role like that,
oh yeah,
you don't just kind of walk away from that.
Yeah, just from like you can see it in him in the movie, and then I've heard like a little bit of director commentary of like just how into character he was in certain parts of it. Like from what I don't know if this is true, but I heard a rumor that him and Robert De Niro like almost got into it on the set because he was so into character that it was just he was like it was just hard to talk to him. So
I believe it.
They're just like, hey Joaquin, hey Joaquin. He's just like, I'm the Joker, baby.
Yeah, that's another one of my favorite performances is there's a guy named Drew Russell on YouTube who uploaded like a video called My Joker Performance where he reenacted the scene. Here, I'll just pop into our Discord and then we'll link it in the description of this episode for people. But he does like the Joker monologue from The Dark Knight, and it's a treat.
It is just a real treat. Definitely watch that after this because
that's where whenever you hear me make a joke about I'm the Joker, baby, that's from this. And I think he's embraced the meme that it's become because he has other videos about it. But anyway, I think those two are really good for obvious reasons that are different. I really enjoy the interpretation of the Joker that was in the Dark Knight Returns comics, where he's just an old dude that faked going into a comatose state for like 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And well, it was more or less because Batman retired, and he was just like, well, what do I do now? So he just like kind of faked going into a non-responsive comatose state, and then as soon as the news was like, oh, Batman's back, oh, the Joker magically wakes up and does some really messed up stuff again. But I liked that a lot. I really liked Mark Hamill in the Arkham games. Just Mark Hamill playing him in general, I think, John, you made a note about it in our show notes of you can't read the comics without hearing Mark Hamill's voice.
I can't.
I'm the exact same way.
I cannot read any Joker character in the comic books without hearing Hamill's voice, without hearing his laugh.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what...
And I think it was growing up with the animated series, mostly, but also now, playing all through the Arkham games growing up as well, that it's just his voice was made to play the Joker. I mean, he has the perfect voice, and it really upsets me that like he never really got a chance to play a live action version of him.
I mean, there was the joke around when the Skywalker Rises or something.
Mm-hmm.
Rise of the Skywalker. Yeah, the laugh at the end where it's supposed to be the Emperor's laugh, I think. No one's really sure because the film hasn't come out, but there's a laugh at the end of the teaser trailer, and even Mark Hamill like memed on it and was like, "Yeah, you guys caught me. They let me play the Joker in this movie."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, great."
That's his laugh. Like, that's...
Yeah.
I don't care who they're saying did that laugh. I know that's Mark Hamill's laugh.
It just sounds like his Joker laugh, and I started losing it.
Oh, yeah.
It was so funny.
I guess I kind of went into my favorite Joker, which is Mark Hamill. Other than that, I'm going to talk about it a little bit more later, but the Joker in both A Death in the Family and Death of the Family, I really enjoyed the Joker in those runs, and the Joker in The Batman Who Laughs. But I'll talk about that a little bit more later. But those runs, I really enjoyed the Joker, but the Joker's a lot more twisted and dark in those. He's more out for blood than for gags. And that's kind of where I stand on the Joker. I kind of am going back and forth just talking about it with the whole Jack Nicholson thing. He was, I will say, he was a pretty good Joker. I just can't get over, I guess, that movie. And that movie was just kind of not
That's
written
understandable.
well.
I get that.
Yeah, Tim Burton, a very distinct style of writing.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure, did Tim Burton say that, like, he wasn't ever a really big comic guy, he just liked the idea of Batman?
Yep. Yes, I think that is almost the exact quote that he gave, actually. He came out and said that he never actually really read any of the comic books. He just liked the idea of the Batman Joker
dichotomy.
Yes, that is a great word. You have some great words coming out today.
Thank you. I read my dictionary.
Word of the day kind of shit.
Yes.
I loaded up thesaurus.com before we started.
Yeah, I want to see a screen grab from your screen currently and just make sure that you're not just like looking up synonyms for words and shit. Okay, so I think we can all agree that like probably the worst Jokers are probably the Gotham one or Leto. So we don't really have to go into that too much because that's just or
another bad one. That was it. Tim, did you tell me about this, or was it Alex, our friend from our other podcast?
Is
the
it
samurai?
Batman Ninja?
Batman Ninja. The samurai shogun Joker.
No, that is just ridiculous. I did not think of that when we started this podcast. A
tiny bit about the Gotham version of the Joker, like the TV show. I remember when that character first was introduced, and the showrunners were like, "No, he's not the Joker. He's going to be someone who inspires the Joker." And then, like a season on, they were like, "Never mind. Forget about that. He's the Joker."
He's the Joker.
Yeah, Gotham.
They try and cram in so many Joker storylines into 2 seasons of this character, and it's so bad.
Gotham really intrigued me at first, and then they started doing stuff like that and like kind of getting the storylines wrong, like the timelines wrong, and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, I was the same way. I was like, oh, this show's not... When it was just a like kind of crime procedural about what's his name?
Gordon?
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
About then like Detective Gordon at the time. It was interesting. I enjoyed like the year 1 kind of thing going on. Not even year 1, like year -20.
Yeah. I even liked the coming to age thing with Bruce as well.
That was okay. Until they gave him like Berserk Femto costume, which is a joke maybe Quinn will get, but I don't know. They made him look like... Okay, let me put it this way. There's a character in Berserk, the manga, who looks exactly like the first Batsuit that is in Gotham, and it's dumb.
Yeah, the first Batsuit in Gotham is pretty terrible.
He just looks like a bird, and I'm just that's not okay.
And then you only get to see the second one very briefly when they ended the show.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess I get the whole Penguin thing and stuff too, and the whole
I thought the actor who played Penguin wasn't horrible. He was okay.
No, yeah, but it was my thing. Was when they started having all the Rogue Gallery people come out, like Scarecrow.
Oh, you mean young, abused child Scarecrow?
Yes. And it was like, okay, no, like...
Or young Poison Ivy who can inexplicably talk to plants from the get-go?
Yes. It's just they were getting the timeline things wrong, and it was just bothering me.
Yeah... I feel like there was an allusion to Killer Croc at some point too, and I was just like, this is dumb and bad. And Hugo Strange was the dude from Law and Order.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, this is an interesting casting. He looks, no offense to the actor, I think he did a decent job with what he was given. But I was like, he doesn't really resemble the character, and that's not a big deal. You can cast the characters whatever you want. But I'm just like, but this is such a strange choice to have a Hugo Strange storyline this early.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
And have Hugo Strange be the main thing behind metahumans in this universe? Was just...
Like mutants, yeah, but like they started calling them... or started alluding pretty heavily to the fact that they were metahumans rather than mutants.
I don't know, dude. They just started getting way too over their... It felt like a fan fiction that was like, oh, and then these characters show up, and they do these cool things that I want them to do.
That's actually a pretty good way to describe that entire show.
Yeah. A little bit. It was like someone's 12-year-old fanfic of this is what Bruce Wayne would be like if I was 12, or if he was 12 like me. Bruce Wayne is my best friend.
Yeah.
I have to edit out my weird laugh there because I just started laughing inhalantly. That was ridiculous.
There's a few times where you can hear me do that, so it's fine. But I
guess this is kind of leading into our next little subject, which is just which we kind of already did this, but just kind of the general idea of the Joker, which I think we kind of almost covered. I don't know if you guys have any other.
I would like to say that
comments.
I like a mixture of the two Jokers. I like a little bit of a serious jokey, but I also like a little bit of a gaggy jokey. Kind of like Mark Hamill's jokey.
Yes, I think that's why another reason why I like it so much is that, especially in Arkham series games, is that he is out, he is murderous. He is out to hurt Batman and the people of Gotham, but he still does it in a really fun way.
Like a really fun, over-the-top way sometimes.
He's got those crazy one-liners throughout it still. The whole time while he's killing people.
I don't want to give spoilers away towards the games, but the third game where he's not even real, it's just
oh god,
okay.
Dude. Holy fuck, I forgot about that.
He's just a figment of Batman's imagination because he's so ingrained in Batman that Batman can't part with him. Yep. It's such a good reveal, I think.
Holy fuck, I forgot about... Oh my god. Those games, play the fucking Arkham games. They were all so good.
Oh, they're so good.
No, that is probably one of the greatest storylines for Batman, and just that's the whole concept of Batman in general. Because you get to meet so many characters, and they were done so well. There's not really a bad character in the game.
Nah, even the little side story characters who'd show up the doll maker shows up for 2 missions, and even he's well written and acts like the doll maker from the comics.
Yeah,
and it's just
Or
whoever
Killer
made
Croc
these
in the
games-
first game. Like, you
Oh,
do
yeah.
one mission, but it's great.
Yeah.
And you don't even see him for most of that mission.
I don't think he ever shows up again, but I didn't mention it. He's because Joker's not really. I think he's the background of the Hush storyline. He's like kind of pulling strings, but not really.
Yeah.
But there's like in the Arkham Knight, I think it is. There's like an allusion to Hush that's just like not really talked about in the next game. And I was like, okay, well, it would have been cool. I think maybe it is. I don't remember, but I remember in the
Hush
second
is
game
a side mission in Arkham Knight.
or City, isn't it? It's City. Right?
There's an illusion in Arkham City, and then he is an actual character in Arkham Knight, but it's a very brief story.
The illusion does pay off because in Arkham City, they're like, oh, all these people look similar to Bruce Wayne, and they're being murdered, and their faces are getting cut off, and then. Oh well, that's Hush. That's what Hush does.
Yep.
So those games are so good. Go play those games, guys.
Yeah, it's definitely a broad recommendation from all of us.
I definitely I want to make one more quick statement. One quick little topic thing. I would be remiss if I did not talk about one of the 8 million Joker origins. I just want to touch on my favorite one a little bit. So he's robbing the Monarch playing card company.
Yep.
And he falls in the vat of playing card acid.
Yeah, Ace Chemicals, right?
And he becomes the Joker. Oh, but wait. Just casually... He was also a lab technician at some point in his life before he was a criminal, so that's why he knows how to make all these Joker gas and all these other crazy chemical warfare things.
That is actually one of my favorite storylines as well.
I think one of my favorite Joker back origin storylines is just the one everyone knows about, where he's... I don't remember what the actual storyline's called, but I don't know if it's the actual title or the fan-given title, but it's the One Bad Day Joker. I think it's actually from The Killing Joke. But I actually kind of like that Joker backstory.
Yeah, actually, we're gonna go into our next segment about the comic stories of the Joker. They're both rated the top ones by fans, and also they're my personal ones too. Which is like The Killing Joke, which Alan Moore wrote. It's probably one of the most controversial storylines, which this new movie pulled a lot out of. In this storyline, they go through the checkered past of the Joker, which he, like Quentin said, your backstory, it's pretty similar. He helps these gangsters rob a Ace Chemicals or the playing card factory, but then he gets chased into Ace Chemicals by the Batman to be stopped. He's wearing the Red Hood persona. He falls into the vat. Everyone thinks he dies. Batman actually feels really bad about it. And then he later becomes the Joker, kills Jason Todd, but that's later in a different issue. But he comes back, messes with Barbara Gordon a lot, which is Batgirl, and it's a pretty dark series. There's allusions to rape, molestation, and I don't know if you guys really read this, but it's one of my favorites and least favorites.
I would tend to agree. I haven't read the actual comic. I've read the synopsis a few times and wiki dove through it, and it's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot. in that story that's kind of really, really dark, but it is Alan Moore, and he writes really, really dark comics, so I'm not surprised. But
Yes.
when you write a story about a alcoholic, I'll put it flatly, an alcoholic rapist who realizes he's been used by his government the whole life, a la comedian, like, you've got some... He writes some pretty dark stuff.
Yeah.
Alan Moore's such like a fucking pretentious douchebag about this, though.
Yeah, he's
Like,
that too.
In fucking... like, he even, like, literally about this, like, the Killing Joke, which is revered by many to be, like, one of the greatest fucking pieces of Batman literature ever made. Alan Moore's just like, it kind of sucks.
Okay. I mean, parts of it I would agree with him, but
here's the full quote. I found it real quick. I don't think it's a very good book. It's not saying anything very interesting. The Killing Joke is a story about Batman and the Joker. It isn't about anything that you're ever going to encounter in real life, because Batman and the Joker are not like any human beings that have ever lived. So there's no important human information being imparted. Yeah, it was something that I thought was clumsy, misjudged, and had no real human importance. It was just about a couple licensed DC characters that really didn't relate to the real world in any way.
No, but kind of. Like, I think all art, and to some degree, is about humans and their relationships and how they relate, or how their relationship to the world at large. I mean, I get that he's a pretentious prick about it, but he's also the one who wrote a story about a giant blue man killing Vietnamese people and then going to Mars because he hates humanity. Are there people like that out there, Alan? Are there people out there like V from Vendetta who are like nigh unkillable, Alan?
Yes.
Checkmate, Alan.
He likes to tell stories about people, and I can see that in his work, but it's just like, you can't say this story is not very good because it's people who couldn't actually exist, when you literally have a story about people who couldn't exist existing.
Yeah,
and
like
it's one of your most lauded works.
Exist. He has more far-fetched stories than this.
Dr. Manhattan alone is more far-fetched than half of DC.
Oh, God, yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe not half of DC, because DC does have an alien who turns into a Boy Scout, but...
That's a fair point.
This man literally has a comic series named The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah, but everyone forgets about it because it's kind of bad.
Yeah, but right there alone, extraordinary gentlemen. How are we going to make a human connection to them?
Oh, well,
I want to say that I actually really
Tom
enjoyed
Sawyer's
that comic series and the movie.
I'm not saying anything against it. I'm just saying, where's your fucking logic there, Alan?
Are we going to have a rivalry with Alan on this podcast the way we do with Randy?
Yeah.
We might. Actually, we should probably
Let's
move
get Alan
on to
Moore on the podcast. Let me talk to him.
We should probably move on to the next one, and hopefully it won't be as hated. But the next one would be by Ed Brubaker and drawn by Doug Mankey, and that's Batman Who Laughs. My wife actually is collecting this whole series. It's really good. It's
I know nothing about this series, to be honest with you.
It's a Batman. Actually, I read it a while back, but I can't exactly remember at the moment. But I believe he kills the Joker, but he starts to become the Joker in a different universe, and now this other universe Joker.
Okay.
I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
I've seen the art from this. I recognize it now that
Yes.
I'm looking at it. I've never actually read into it, like the plot line of the stories or anything, but I've seen the art of it for sure.
Yeah, it's a Batman from a different universe that got infected with, the Joker's blood, which is, toxic, and has become just this pretty much being that is unstoppable, and he moves universe to universe now, or multiverse to multiverse, and just fucks it up royally.
I just got to the Wikipedia page for it, and there's like the picture, and it's like Batman with his rabid robins.
Yep. Yeah, he has rabid robins. Yeah, he also infects Superman, Wonder Woman, and pretty much destroys the whole Justice League. It's really dark. It's really fun. You can get Batman Metal has a lot to do with him, but the one-off series, or not one-off series, but the mini series off of Batman Metal is just titled Batman Who Laughs, and it gives you a deeper insight of how he became to be and how deadly Batman would be if he did become like the Joker.
Can we talk for just a real quick thing that has nothing to? Well, it has something to do with it, but can we talk about how comics and how bad they are at making up element names? Like, apparently, Batman Who Laughs has a weakness to the quote-unquote nth metal.
Metal, yeah.
It's just like, this is like almost as bad as unobtainium.
That's fair. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, they gotta come up with stuff. You gotta come up with weird shit, like vibranium and
Avatar,
kryptonite.
right. Sorry, I had to do a quick search for what unobtainium and what I was pulling for, and the big one is Avatar from James Cameron.
That's weird.
It's just such a bad name, and like, I don't know. Get better with naming conventions. Please.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay, so the next one is A Death in the Family. That is the Jason Todd story. He is the second Robin. He is killed by the Joker.
People paid money to kill him.
Yes.
The way this whole series worked, it was great. It was it was a voting thing, and you had to mail in your votes. So it was literally just a bunch of people paying to kill the fucking Robin.
Yeah, and I'm glad that this story happened, because out of it we got the Red Hood. Jason Todd became the Red Hood, which is probably one of my favorite DC characters by far. He is a great vigilante / anti-hero. But yeah, this is his death story, and how Batman kind of fell apart after Jason Todd died, and so give that a read if you really want to see how fucked up the Joker can get and how cold-blooded he can get just to mess with the Batman. The next one is also probably more twisted, is Death of the Family, which is kind of a play off of the first one, where the Joker comes back from being severely wounded by getting his face cut off, and actually traps all of the Bat family in the Bat Cave, tries to get Batman to eat their faces, and Batman doesn't really want to. But the Joker's going to light him on fire if he doesn't, and I'm not going to spoil anything else for you except for that. You guys can just go read that and see how it ends. And those are some of the top-rated and, my favorite comic lines. I know, Quentin, you gave yours earlier. Is there any other ones that you guys would want to add?
Yeah, I just want to add on to the whole death in the family. One of my favorite one of my favorite things about it, just because of the time period that it came out. In I believe it was the third or fourth comic, probably the fourth comic in the series, Joker becomes a diplomatic or a representative for the United Nations for the country of Iran. That way, I'm not going to spoil too much of it. I'm not going to give you the real like comic book reason it happened, but at the time, it's the 80s. What's evil? The Joker's evil. What else is evil? The Middle East.
Yeah. You know, that actually just reminded me of another fun little thing. They actually did a crossover, Marvel and DC did, and Joker actually punched the Red Skull in the face and then punched the Hitler in the face, saying how twisted and fucked up that they were because they were Nazis.
Because I remember that, because he's like, even I'm an American, and even I think you guys are fucked up.
Yeah.
No way, that's funny.
So,
There's
like,
also...
he claimed that, like, you know, his antics and killings and stuff, they're not targeted towards any one gender or race or religion, but, like, since they targeted specific people, that they were way more fucked up than he ever was. And I actually agree with that. I actually do agree with his point, to be fair.
There's, like, not to devalue this, but I think there's also a part where there's something about the Joker paying his taxes in a storyline, and he's like, oh, I do all this fucked up stuff, but I don't try and mess with the IRS.
I mean, that's how they got Capone.
Yeah, you gotta be careful, man.
That paper trail will get you, even if you're the Joker.
They don't go to real prison and not just some, like, psych ward. So, anything else you guys want to add to that?
No, I think that's pretty much all my favorite stuff from the Dave Mckean artwork to the Death in the Family miniseries.
Yeah, so actually to call out Death in the Family, if you're looking for it to read, it is Batman number 426 to 429 are the specific comics that you're going to want to look at. There's some build-up and there's some conclusion later on, but those are the specific ones that you're going to want to find
those
to get the
meat and the potatoes.
Yes, that's a great way to put it. But yeah, so I guess that kind of brings me to Q and me. Tim, you kind of got to sit this one out, but Q, what are your expectations for this movie when we do go and finally see it?
I think it'll be good. I'm kind of
Plangs of Send in the Clowns.
bass boosted. I'm kind of curious.
Oh.
Like, I'm more so interested to see how I will look at it in comparison to the comic books. I have high hopes. I know he's not going to be like a jokey Joker, but
yeah, knowing what they are saying about it now, like that this could be the guy that inspires the Joker to turn crazy later on. This isn't the real Joker we know with the Batman, but I have high hopes for it as an origin story. I think it's interesting when they try to give Joker a backstory, because he's never actually had one cohesive backstory. He's had quite a few different ones, and this is the first time they've ever actually given him a name. But I think it's going to be really interesting, and I kind of agree to your point that I'm excited to see how it ties in with some of the comics.
Yeah. I can't. I don't. I'm gonna go ahead and say right now that I don't think it's going to tie into like any comics really.
I think it's going to have aspects of certain ones, but it's not going to tie directly into any of the comic series. Personally.
It's fair enough.
But, so now, Tim, you can jump in on this a little bit. The future of the DC movie franchise, which we touched on it earlier, but how do you guys think they're gonna keep it going with a lot of these movies coming out that are kind of being flops? Besides, Wonder Woman, and now the Joker. Besides that, like, they're not doing so hot in the box office.
I think people said Aquaman was an okay movie.
It was good, but it was kind of just like they just put a lot of special effects into it, and it was more pretty than it was well written.
I don't know. I don't know what can fix the DC extended universe or whatever they call it now. It's just there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and I think the studio needs to stop leaning so heavily on directors to make decisions, because they just need to accept that these movies may not do as well as the Avengers, but they should still make them good movies. And stop trying to make a cinematic universe in general. Just make good movies. Just like we said earlier, just kind of, don't be afraid to just make standalone movies, but we live in a world of cinematic universes at the moment. And until that sort of recedes,
I guess you could say we
live in a society.
Oh, you got me.
I got it in, finally.
You can have a Joker cast without a society joke.
We live in a society.
There you go. I have every reason to agree with that. I think it makes perfect sense. But I think you really hit it on the head when you said they have a lot of work to do.
Yeah,
they really just need to go back to the drawing boards.
Yeah, honestly, they need to go back and just...
They need to do what they did with that Sonic movie and just start over.
Yes. Except for Wonder Woman. I really enjoy that. I don't want that to go away. But if we can just, pull that away from the canon stuff, it'd be great.
Let's make it a standalone movie.
Yes. I agree. I think the next movie should be a standalone movie.
I think all the movies should be standalone movies.
Yes. That brings me to my next thing, is that with all the rumors going around and some of the confirmations, I'm getting kind of actually excited for the Batman movie. I hope it's not canon. I don't think it is, because they're going with a younger Batman, who is actually going to be played by Robert Pattinson. And then they just casted Catwoman with...
Has he ever been in a movie related to bats before?
I think so. I think he did. I don't know. I might have to Google it. I want to say it was Moonlight.
Midnight.
Yeah, something like that. Anyways,
I don't know.
Zoe Kravitz
Harry Potter.
I hate you.
Yeah, he died.
Okay, yeah. So, anyways,
that's my boy.
I'm trying to get out some exciting news. So, Zoe Kravitz was cast as Catwoman, which I love that casting. I think that's going to be great. There is also rumors that there is going to be a whole rogues gallery introduced to this movie, and they are going to treat it more as a detective movie rather than a superhero movie, which I actually am really excited about because it's actually bringing us back to who Batman is, the true detective.
The Batman cross True Detective HBO series, where Batman tracks down a child abuse cult.
I mean, that's not a bad idea.
Twisted. True Detective got really weird, and kind of off the walls towards the end, but it's fine.
Anyways,
this is it's kind of cool to hear that, actually.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited. I know that like a lot of people aren't huge fans of Robert Pattinson, but like since Twilight,
that's it, right?
Yes, huge fan actually. Since then, he's actually showed that he can be a decent actor, and I think he's got the brooding thing down, that's for sure.
Like, I didn't hate him as Cedric Diggory, so...
No, I thought he did a really good job.
Even though he was in
Harry
that
Potter.
first.
I think it'll be an interesting return if you are saying, or if what you're saying is true with, like, the whole detective thing. Like, it's gonna be a more back to the basics Batman, because at one point in time, Batman wasn't like this master of nanotechnology and fucking all this crazy shit, you know? Like, Batman used to just kind of just be a rich guy who was a badass, you know? He was still super smart, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use this nanotechnology and these space lasers, like...
I mean, yeah, like, for a good story about stuff like that, read, like, Batman Year One, where he's just... It's like his first night out as Batman, and he fucking falls off a building and breaks his ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I want to return to back to the basics Batman, and this sounds like that's kind of what we might get.
I think that is exactly that's what I'm hoping to get from these rumors, is that, because, yeah, it's not like he was always fighting these superhumans. I mean, when he started, he was just trying to clean up Gotham. And back then, there was just gangsters and criminals. There weren't metahumans or, aliens or anything like that. So it's a really, I think it's going to be the origin story we actually want to get, instead of the whole, oh, my mommy and daddy died. Like, it's actually going to be the origin story of, like, him becoming Batman that we've never actually gotten from a movie.
I would hope so. I hope so. I don't know. I want a good Batman movie again. The last good one was, like, I guess Dark Knight Rises. I didn't like it as much as The Dark Knight, but I liked it pretty well.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. I think we were well deserved to have another good Batman movie. So,
just one quick thing before we start wrapping.
Yeah.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention Flashpoint Joker.
Oh God.
Which is the Flash goes into an alternate dimension, and it turns out this universe's Batman is Thomas Wayne, and this universe's Joker is Martha Wayne. Because instead of them getting killed, Bruce got killed.
Yeah, that's a really cool...
that was a really cool thing I did not see coming in that storyline.
Yeah, that's actually... I'm glad that you brought that up, because that is actually a really good sub-story. And, I actually wish that they would have shown us more of Flashpoint universe, because we really didn't get to see the whole Batman-Joker aspect in Flashpoint. We really just we knew the story, and then we got to meet Thomas quite a bit, and that's really all we got. We didn't really get anything from Martha much.
Yeah, I mean, even in the movie, which is I read the synopsis for the comics and everything. I watched the animated movie of it, and even in the movie, I feel like she only got like 10 minutes of screen time tops. Maybe not even that. Maybe only like 5. Because I feel like there's a lot of scenes with Thomas where he's like, "I'm a drunk old man who's angry," and
Yeah,
then the reveal happens, and that's it. So I don't
yeah.
know.
I wish we got more because I think it would have been a really interesting dynamic
Yeah,
to get
absolutely.
at least a mini series off of. Which I might need to look. There might be one that I don't know of, but
I know they were floating the idea as a movie for a while, but I don't know if that ever happened.
well, maybe that'll happen in the future too. Maybe that's something that we can look out for.
Maybe. I mean, as of a couple years ago, DC had like 10 years of movies planned, so
Yeah, that's true.
how many of them come out now? If a lot of them have flopped, I don't know, but
You
I
know, I
guess
just
time will
don't get how
tell.
they can't get a live action movie to work. But if you go back and you watch any of their animated movies besides Batman Ninja, they're all really, really good.
Yeah,
And
honestly.
I don't get how they cannot translate that to the big screen.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know either. I'd like to say something profound and deep about the the idea of cinema and film as opposed to animation, but
I'll just say
I
they're a
don't
bunch
know.
of fucking jabronis, eh?
I don't want to come across as a film snob that I am. I don't know how they keep getting it wrong because from the moment that they made Batman shoot a person in Batman v Superman, I was checked out of that universe. So
All right, well, I guess that's probably a decent point to start wrapping this up. If you guys don't have any other closing remarks on our topic today, we got off on a couple of tangents. I apologize. This has gone a little over scheduled, but this is a very diverse character. There's all three of
yeah,
us, I feel like, have generally the same consensus on what we like in the Joker, but we also have other sub interests that made this conversation jump into a very diverse topic. A little bit more, I think, than we were expecting, which is great. But yeah, do you guys have any closing remarks?
My final statement is be like the Joker and do crime.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that we live in society.
Okay.
Just gonna go ahead and make that joke again. We live in a society where movie pre-screeners are trash journalists, and that's all I'll say. Let me preview these movies, and I'll write real articles.
I would trust yours, actually. I would trust a
Oh, thank
normal
you.
set of people. I wish they would interview people and do it like that instead. Like I'm tired of reading reviews from guys that go and or guys and girls that go and see these movies and just some of them are just out to shit on all of them.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
lot of people go into movies with I'm going to not like this movie, and because of that, they don't like the movie.
Yeah,
make me a movie reviewer. My niche will be people who don't really know shit about movies. I'll be for
there
the
you go.
common man.
There you go. All right. Well, that leads me into finally wrapping this up. And I guess, do you guys have any recommendations for this week?
Yeah. It's currently the month of October. In the month of October, you do spooky things and you get spooked. Easy way to do that, you go on youtube.com and you search up the channel Shrouded Hand.
I don't know about this one.
Yeah.
Usually we're pretty in tune on our YouTube channel.
Yeah. You should probably check this one out, Tim. It's pretty cool. It's kind of got not so much fringe internet history, but it's more like kind of spooky history things.
I like this aesthetic.
There's like one really interesting video I think everybody should check out. I think he has 2 videos on this subject, actually, is art made by people with different mental illnesses and the schizophrenia art. Pretty neat.
I've seen those arts and stuff before, and they are both beautiful and haunting.
Mm-hmm.
If that's even possible. But that's how I feel towards those paintings. I mean, they're immaculate.
Yeah, dude,
but
it's fucking
just
wild.
Almost like scare the piss out of you too.
Yeah. No, it's good shit. So if you're trying to get spooked, check out Shrouded Hand on YouTube. That's my recommendation for you this week, boyos and girlos.
Tim, what you got?
I think I'm gonna do something in a similar vein. But with like weird fringe internet stuff. There's a YouTube channel called Nightmare Expo, and he covers things like I'm looking through here. We got stuff like Petscop, which is an interesting read if you've never heard of it. He has a series called Disturbing Things from the Internet, from around the internet.
I think I've watched this man in some of my deep dives.
He has a video all about the weird dad persona that maybe Quentin might know about, I think. The weird dad videos.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
He's just generally interesting. He makes things about interesting things, I think. I'm also going to recommend any video that critiques and or parodies 3 a.m. channels, because that's a wild and wicked side of YouTube.
Don't FaceTime Mickey Mouse at 3 a.m.
Yeah, he'll pick up and it'll just be your friend on the other side of the thing because you changed his contact to Mickey Mouse.
Spooky.
Scary. And those videos get 1 million views. Anyway, John, what would you like to recommend?
So my recommendation this week is actually, Carly sent this to me, to read up on, or to learn about and listen about, Lyme disease. And it's called This Podcast Will Kill You. I just listened to their episode 35 about Lyme disease. It was very enlightening. It helps understand it a lot more. I'm going to start listening to some of their other episodes. Haven't really gotten to any of the other ones yet that I just started. But the 2 women that are on there, they are both, they help you learn and they make it fun. So I'm always down for that. And you can check that out on Spotify too. And then go to our podcast right after.
Or first.
I mean, you would get to that other one from ours.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's true. So, alright. So those are the recommendations for the week. Go out and try them. They shouldn't take you too long, unless you fall down a rabbit hole. I got some plugs. You can follow me on Instagram. It's John Mergenthaler. You gotta go listen to our other episodes to figure out how to spell that last name. And then there is our email, which is rewindandreloadpodcast@gmail.com. And yeah, so you guys got any plugs there?
Yeah, as always, my pluggy is, for Twitter, you can find me. My @ is at Applebee's is okay. Spelled Applebee's, like the restaurant, is okay. OKAY. And you can also check me out and Tim on the Backdash podcast, which you can find on Spotify.
Hell yeah. I think we're on most major podcast apps now.
Yeah, Spotify, iTunes, or Apple,
iTunes, Google,
Mixer, whatever. Wherever you listen to your podcast.
They're also on Grindr under a group account.
Yeah.
Not me.
I am. I thought I heard that was how you meet local skaters.
Yeah.
It's like the episode of South Park where Cartman wants grown up friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that I'm comparing those two communities at all, but like it's just
You just get a little confused.
Yeah, you go in expecting one thing, and then you're like, oh, this isn't what I expected at all, but maybe I'll stick around. I don't know.
Who knows? But yeah, that's all I got to plug.
Awesome. Tim, what you got?
Well, we've plugged the other podcast I do, but I did promise that every week I would give away one letter of my social media handle.
Last week it was W.
Yep.
Okay, so I've done I and W, I think, so far. This week we're going to do the letter F. And I don't know how many times it happens. Maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 4. I don't know. But it's in there. Maybe I'll say it again. And you'll have to count how many times I use the letter F. It'll be like that funny E-meme that everyone knows about these days.
You need to get off the internet sometimes.
No.
No.
Until I start talking in meme speak in real life, I think I'm okay.
We know a person that talks in memes in real life,
until
and
I'm
you
that
can't
person,
even be around him.
Until I'm that person, I'm fine.
Okay.
And then I'll stop trying to be around myself.
Fair enough. Alright, so yeah, like their plug said, go follow their other podcast. There's hopefully I'm going to be starting another podcast here pretty soon with my wife and one of our friends, Joey. I don't know when we're going to start that one, but it's in the works. And that's, I think, all we got today, right, guys?
I think so.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank everyone for sticking around for probably about an hour and 40 minutes of us just having nice, long-winded rants. And I guess you'll hear us next week. And I will hear you two sexy mofos next week as well.
Want to know how I got these scars? Well, I'm the Joker, baby!